Hey everyone, happy Friday. Could everyone in the chat just send a 1 or something if you can hear me, see me? I want to make sure that we're ready to roll before I start sharing my screen. We're going to give another minute or so for people to keep showing up. Oh, chat is turned off. Okay, let me see if I can change that setting. You'll have to bear with us. We're still trying to get used to this webinar software. It's Microsoft Teams, and we need to get familiar with all the settings. But we do have a Q&A section, and I think you guys should be able to ask questions through the Q&A section. I will type one. And I believe everyone can see that. There's also a raise your hand feature. Could everyone just raise your hand if you can see me and hear me? Okay, thank you, Robert. Awesome. Looks like we're good to go. Okay, I'm going to get started. Today, we are going to share one of my favorite features. I think it's one of the most beneficial features of DialHawk. We in this industry, we talk about speed to lead, and this is one of the things that can help us win that battle, is the form submission calls. It's a way for us to contact the user or the consumer almost immediately after they filled out a form on a website. So we're going to jump into this, and we will take questions as we go or at the end. Just use the Q&A section to ask any questions you might have. Our support team's here and ready to answer questions. So let's do this. I'm going to share my screen quick. Everyone, raise a hand if you can see the screen now. Perfect. Okay, so we're in our DialHawk dashboard. I'm just on the campaigns. I want to set up a new campaign to track these form submission calls. And actually, I'll take a step back. We'll go to our trusty St. Pete Solar website that we used a few weeks ago for the call request widget. I have this form on our contact page, and as you can see, it's a pretty simple form. But when a user comes and fills out this form, I want to connect a phone call automatically, so that, if our client is on the roof and installing solar panels somewhere, then he's not necessarily checking his email or the form fills, however he checks these form submissions. He doesn't need to now with DialHawk, because we'll just call him directly and connect him straight with that customer. And I think that's, in the speed to lead game, it's super important to be the first one to get back in touch with that consumer. So this is how we help manage that. So the form submission calls, when somebody fills this out, we want to connect our customer with the person that filled out this form. So that's where we're going to start today. And to do that, I just want to create a campaign. I'm going to call this St. Pete form submission. I'm going to just use all the default settings here. and hit save. So now we have our campaign set up. As always with campaigns, the first thing we want to do is go get a phone number. And I believe I have one that I can use. Yeah, we'll use this 4749 number. I'm going to import it. So now it's part of my campaign. And the first thing we need to do is go through our number settings. We went through a little more in depth last week or 2 weeks ago when we did the call request widget. Today I'm just gonna get this set up. It's gonna forward to my phone number. I'm just gonna leave all these disabled for now. As always, your specific campaign, you're gonna want to use your particular settings that you want for that phone number. Okay, now I have that set up. I'm going to come to the form submission calls, and there's just a few settings. There's not a lot to go through here, but you'll see we have a script here, a lot like the call request widget that we need to put on our website. So here's where you select the phone number. The one we just set up is right here. And this is what you're going to have a message play to your customer who you're delivering this lead to, giving them a heads up. Hey, this phone call was generated by a form submission on St. Pete Solar.com. And I'm going to hit save. So now we have our form submission ready to go. Somebody fills out a form here. Our settings in DialHawk are now ready to go. The last piece we need to do is get this script on our website. And for those of you who were able to join a couple of weeks ago, we gave a little overview of Tag Manager. We're going to use Tag Manager again to get this script on our website. And that's a really simple process. I'm here on the St. Pete Solar Tag Manager instance. I'm going to create a new tag, and it's going to be custom HTML, and I'm going to paste our script right in there. And then the triggering, we're just going to do on all pages. So it's going to be there on all pages. If you have a form on that page, then it will automatically generate this call if somebody submits that form. One important note is it will not work on forms that don't include a phone number field. So if you're building a form for your website, you need to make sure there's a phone number field for people to type in their phone number. Okay, so we have our trigger, we have this. I'm going to give it a name. And save it. So we have our tag created. The last piece of this is we need to submit it so it publishes to our website. And now it's live. Now I need to refresh the website so it takes that change. Now, anytime somebody fills out this form, it should be forwarding to my phone number. And we'll give it a test. It's always a little risky testing things live, but I'm feeling pretty confident today. And so I'm just going to fill out my name. And I'm going to use a test phone number. Okay, one thing I want to mention is when I've created this little phone app for us to use internally at DialHawk, and when I hit submit, my phone here should get a call, and we should hear that message, and then we should be able to connect to this phone. So we'll see this phone ring as well. So I'm going to hit this send message, and I'm going to cross my fingers. Here's this phone call. I'm going to answer. I'm going to press 1 to be connected. And now we should see, yep, we're getting this phone call here. So that is super simple. I know there's not a lot to show here, but it is such a powerful tool that we have in DialHawk. Being able to connect people automatically based on a form submission on a website. I think, you know, there's many use cases for this. If you're providing leads, this gets you another phone call that you can bill your clients for via a form submission, not even somebody dialing a phone number. There's also, you know, if you want to use it on your own personal business, or if you're doing marketing for small businesses, you can put this on their website to help enable them, you know, the plumber that's in the middle of a job. It's easier for him to answer a phone call than it is to go look to see if there was a form submitted. So I think this has extreme value to anyone that can utilize this. It's one of our simpler features, but I think it's the most one of the most powerful ones as well. I know this isn't a long session today, but let's open it up for questions, and let's see if we can answer any questions for anybody out there. Can everyone see the Q&A? Looks like we have some questions out there. Okay, Roland, you were just wondering about full screen. Okay, Waldo, can you use the forwarding from one to many different numbers? Yes. However, so I'm going to come back to my campaign here. I'm going to go to the phone numbers. However you have this set up is going to be when that form gets submitted, it's going to use these rules in how it forwards the phone call. So it's going to call, you know, right now I have a single number. Had I had this multiple numbers all at once, it would have called all those numbers, and whoever picked up would get that message saying a form was submitted, press 1 to connect. Roland's asking, what form builder do we use? You know, there's a lot of good WordPress form builders. It doesn't really matter what you use to build the form. Like I said, the one really important piece is that there is a phone number field on your form. Roland's asking what Tag Manager is. Roland, Google Tag Manager is a tool provided by Google. Let me find my St. Pete Solar again, where it allows you to not only add scripts like we just did to your website easily, but it allows you to track user activity on your website. You know, maybe you want to track clicking who clicked what button on your website. You can do that through Tag Manager as well. However, you know, Tag Manager could be a course of its own. We're probably not going to dive a whole lot into that today, but if you want to do some research on your own, Tag Manager is a really powerful tool. Marv saying, must the phone number field be labeled phone number? That question might be a good one for our support team. I believe it does need to be labeled phone number, but we'll verify, our support team will verify that for us. Any other questions from anybody? Who here is using this tool? Even knew it existed. Excuse me. Roland, does the form have to be HTML in my page? My form builder gave me a code to paste. Yeah, I mean, any web page is HTML at its core. So our little JavaScript file will recognize the form itself and however you got it onto your web page, and it should work as long as we have a phone number field. So Sean, it looks like you're using it on a website. Hopefully you've had success with it. I think, it's just another way that we can provide leads, that we can provide the speed to lead, and yeah, it's just really powerful. I think even more so than in terms of providing the best support. I think our call widget is a great tool too, but the form submission call kind of captures everything outside of the actual phone calls. You don't, like I said earlier, you don't need somebody to really even dial a phone number. They just need to submit the form, and now you can connect and count that as a phone call. Do we have any other questions coming in? I think if you do have questions, one thing I do want to show you guys too is we have. Sorry, I accidentally submitted that. We have added this new chat widget to our website, and we are constantly adding new articles to this help section. So if you guys have questions, we have some really good articles, call tracking and campaign management. There are 2 articles in there. Our support team has done a great job filling this information out. And as always, one of the best ways you can get in touch with us is just send us a message through the chat widget, and we'll reply within at least 24 hours. We want to limit that to just a couple hours, but for sure we'll be in touch within 24 hours. And that connects directly to our support team, who has a ton of knowledge through DialHawk. Raise your hand if you've used the chat widget on our site. Awesome. Was it a good experience, Roland? Okay. Let's see. Let me check the questions again. Roland has another question. So Roland, you're using a tool that gives you a script to paste into your WordPress site. And it does not show a form field on my page with a phone number. Roland, I'm still not following. I think maybe what you're saying is that you get a script from a third party, you paste that into your WordPress site, and a form just shows up. And I think, if the form is showing up, then we should be able to utilize that on your web page. And Okay, yeah, now I'm on the right track. And as long as there is a phone number field on that form that's showing up, our DialHawk feature should work. If you're having problems getting it set up, just reach out to our support team, Roland. Brent, the sessions are recorded, and we will email out a link probably early next week to the recording. We'll upload it to the DialHawk Thrive Cart account. And as always, you can reach out through chat and we can send the link directly. Okay, any other questions? Okay. If you think of more questions after we end the session here, feel free to just reach out to support and we will help you in any way we can. We appreciate you guys being here and we want to support you however we can. Oh, Roland has an, will it still work with headers and footers plugin? Uh, that is a good question. Sometimes, especially with WordPress sites, Roland, we just need to test things. I believe what you're asking is if you have a form in your header or footer, will it work on that form? My guess is yes. Obviously, we can't guarantee it on any site that we haven't developed, but I believe it should work. Okay, yeah, Leo was able to give a good answer to that one. Okay, with that, we're going to sign off. We appreciate everyone being here. And yeah, in a couple of weeks, we'll have another session. And I believe that's on number swapping. And that should be a good one. This one's more complex feature, but it can be really powerful to track where your phone calls have come from. Appreciate you guys coming. Have a great day.